Guys, so I just want to do a breakdown of my trade on Monday. So on Monday, I was not looking for buys. Monday, I was looking for sales. So I just want to break down on how I end up looking for sales and where the perfect entry was based on the strategy that I use. Now, I am a ICT concept trader. Okay, which means I enter my trades off of rejection, rejection blocks, also order blocks, and as well I enter off of a thing called AMD. AMD is pretty much accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Okay, so when I first got on the chart, I got on the 1 hour. I went to the 1 hour. Well, we could do the 4 hours. See, do I see anything on the 4 hour? Um, no. I was able to see it better on the 1 hour. So what I saw was, so this right here was pretty much where the market pretty much opened. So before that, this is what I saw. I saw that we had this area right here where price rejected before, which was 12 o'clock that morning. And I also saw that at this area right here, we had rejection as well right here, this area, all on the 1 hour time frame. Now, how do I know that we had rejection in this area? Because this right here showed me we had a lot of sellers and buyers both in the market, but we had sellers because price started to sell off once price got into this area. You see how price pushed up here, and then price came back down under this level of where the sellers were sitting. On this day, it showed me that the sellers were stepping in more than the buyers. So I'm gonna go down to the smaller time frame. So personally, I think I'm gonna go to. Let me actually take this off because this might be confusing to people. Okay, so I'm gonna just go down to the 5 minute time frame. So on this 5 minute time frame, I noticed that price had started to pretty much accumulate, right? So if you look at this, right, you would have been like, okay, well, I could have took buys, right? But do you see how it would have been hard to actually have an entry? Like, unless you enter off of this rejection, you kind of would have been like teetering back and forth. The reason for that is because all of this was just accumulation for price to make a move. So like this, because this was like market open. This what price was on all morning, right? For the beginning of the morning, I should say. This all price was doing back and forth, back and forth. Trades like this is not things that you should want to trade. Okay. But the reason for this right here was accumulation, right? Price was building up liquidity to take its move. Okay. So once I saw that, I said, hey, okay, cool. I know for a fact that price wants to sell because this is nothing but accumulation. When price doesn't really have a clear direction and it's just moving choppy, that is more so accumulation. Okay, so I said I trade off for AMD accumulation. This was the accumulation. Okay, now price went back to this level, so I had this marked out. Technically, I can bring this up higher. We're gonna take this right here. Okay, so in order for price to go lower, price has to go higher first. Okay, so the fact that price went higher than this, so this made a new high. Okay, so price has to go higher before it goes lower. This was the last high. Price came up, pushed up right here. It wicked 3 times. This means price tried to go higher, but it didn't. This was the manipulation for you to think price wanted to continue up higher. Okay. Once I saw that we had these couple of candles, I knew that we was finna reject. Also, this is a rejection area. As you can see, each time price came up in this level, price wanted to sell. Okay, price came here a couple times, and it didn't come near sometimes, but it came up higher right here, rejected. Came up higher, rejected right here. Tried to go back up a little bit, came back down, came back here, rejected. Okay, price came up here, rejected. One thing about when price rejects, it rejects at key levels, meaning where price has done it before. So I knew that price didn't want to go any higher. So how I would have entered my trade was I saw that pretty much these made equal highs. Okay, so I would have just took this last one and let me make sure it's perfect. Bring it down a little bit more. Okay. So I would just took this last candle right here. And I would have waited for price to come up a little bit to get a little bit of liquidity again and to enter. The perfect trade would have been once price came up in this level right here to enter my trades. Now I was a little late. I might didn't even enter my trade till like right here. Right? I was a little late. But it didn't stop me from entering my trades because I already knew that price wanted to continue down. So I wasn't scared on by entering my trade. But as you can see, this is why I wanted to take a sell. And let's see, 933. This was over 200 points. So this was over a 200 point drop. And this was about an hour and a half. So this was my trade I took on Monday.